The second phase of government's operation to bring to the surface illegal miners who are underground at a mine in Stilfontein in northwest has started. Members of the SABC and SANDF are now involved in the operation. Community representatives say there are over 4,000 illegal miners underground, but government has disputed the figure. Northwest Community Safety MEC Wessels Morweng says the third phase of the operation is expected to start on Monday. Well, SABC News reporter Itumeleng Khajane, who's been following this story, is standing by for us in Stilfontein. A very good afternoon to you, Itumeleng. So the second phase is underway, and come Monday, there'll be the third phase. Just take us through what those phases actually are.
Good afternoon, Nompu, and to our viewers. Indeed, the first phase started on Wednesday, with the assessment as well as the clearing of the site here at Shaft 11. And then this morning when we arrived here, there was a crane which started lowering a camera down that shaft. And then a few moments ago, they hoisted it to the surface. And then about 5 minutes later, they then lowered it down to the shaft again, or underground. So we are still waiting to see whether the actual retrieval will happen over this weekend or even on Monday. That will be determined, I believe, by what would have happened today. We have been hearing from different civic organizations. We've been hearing even from different political formations about their views in relation with what is happening at this shaft. However, yesterday we did hear from the likes of Mametwese Bay of Kiwuza, as well as Zwelinzi Mavavi of the Trade Union Federation, SAFTU, who were calling on the authorities to ensure that their program is done well in time to ensure that those who are still underground do not die there. I have asked Meshak Mbangola of a civic organization, Mining Affected Communities United in Action, Makua, to speak with us in relation with what's happening here today. The second phase of the operation has started. You've been calling on government to expedite the process of retrieving those who are underground, saying that they may die underground. Are you satisfied now that something is happening, or you still have reservations?
Well, it's critical that the operation should take place. And as it takes place, the concern is that those people only last had their meal on Saturday, which is now almost a week that they had their meal. And obviously, as the operation goes on, it might have to only take out people who had already passed away, and that's a concern. That is, we are not allowed to take food and give it to the people, even water. So we see this as a very crucial issue, because if those people are saved, say we save life, they will be able to, go back to their families, make their families happy. But in this case, we see that the government is really very much adamant or unfair to say we cannot have these people food, because Section 27 of 1B of the Constitution states very well that people have the right to sufficient food and water. Section 11 states very well people have the right to live. But in this case, without food, without water, we see this operation as obviously useless, because it will take out dead bodies. But we believe that we welcome the operation, let it go on. We have seen them putting the cameras. We hope and believe that the camera should come up with positive information. But at the same time, what we really against it, that is we are concerned, is they called us a task team, that we should work together. But when it comes to these issues, now it's only police and the task team, that is the rescue team, which is at the moment we are taken out. As we say, the emergency people that must go in. But we were the communities that were saving the people, and we were the communities that were giving the people. That itself, it's emergency, because people were hungry about that.
Yeah, and you have been communicating with family members. mothers of those who are still underground, parents of those who are still underground, and their loved ones. What are they saying, really, just briefly?
Yes, they are very much disappointed to the government of not really wanting to allow these people to come in, because this Valamkoti, it doesn't just Valamkoti, it values food, it values water. You know, it's closing the life of people, it's diminishing the life of people. So based on that, because even if these people were doing that before the Valamkoti, they were busy supplied by food, water and everything. But this Valamkoti, it comes in to diminish the life of people by valuing the food, closing the food, water and other stuff. So the families are really concerned to say, are we still going to see our husband? Are we still going to see our kids that were there to try and get something to put on the table? But in this case, it's really a bad situation, because we talked to one of the colonel and said, can't we try to give this food? He said they should be having enough by now, when he talks about Saturday, and that shows no humanity, you know, at all.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So Meshach Mbangola is from Makua. It's a civic organization here working around the mining communities. So even yesterday, the sentiments that he just made here now are shared by family members. Yesterday, we spoke to one lady who indicated that her son is still underground. Her son's cousin is also underground, and she keeps on asking herself as to whether they're still alive. If she is eating here on the surface, what are they eating underground? She even made a statement that says, let the authorities retrieve those people. Even if they were to be arrested, at least she would know where her son is. She would go check him at the prison cell. But the other lady also said, Nozipontuli, said she has two sons who are also underground. She was making a plea to the authorities to retrieve them, saying that even if they died, she would at least bury them instead of their bodies to rot there underground without her knowing where her sons really ended up. And she also spoke about the socio-economic conditions in Stilfontein, in Kuma and the Greater Matlosana area, saying that people do not go underground because they want to go underground or because they want to commit crime, but because they think that that's where they're going to be able to make a living, and blaming also the authorities for not sealing these disused mines, derelict mines, saying that they are ownerless and stuff like that. So she was also calling on the government to expedite the process of retrieving those who are still underground. So from Stilfontein is back to you in studio, Nompu.
Thanks very much for that report, my colleague there, Itumeleng Khachane.